Hi again. This is Victoria English, top coach with Project 90. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be talking about some interesting stuff as we close out 2021, or maybe by the time you hear this, you'll have already rang in 2022. I wish you a very happy new year. But before we get started, have you gotten our free download yet? It's January. Everyone's hoping to save some money this time of year. Oof, I went a little overboard with the Christmas gifts, but it's worth it. I love treating my loved ones to some good stuff over the holiday season. So back to the free stuff. You can get our alcohol freedom formula created by our fearless leader, James Swanwick, full of good stuff. Simply go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. If you are a high achiever inside the home, outside the home, maybe both, you might be a good fit for us. Not everyone is, but that's why we offer you this free call. It's 15 minutes with me, Coach V. No obligation. I don't sell you anything on this call, just to find out, are we a good fit for one another? You can book a call with me at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule. You can also find the link to booking in the podcast notes. I hope to chat with you soon, talking about a new year and a new you. This is a great way to get started. Also, we're really excited about our new YouTube channel. You can check that out at www.alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YT. Some amazing motivational videos. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment. We respond to every comment. And please share with your friends. We appreciate your support. So, ready to get to our lesson. On a recent coaching call, I was speaking with some of our Beyond 90 members. So Beyond 90 is a program that we started, about 6 months ago. And it was in response to our members' strong request, to put it mildly. They said, you know what? I have not felt this good in so long. Going alcohol-free for 90 days has been just the beginning of a beautiful chapter in my life. And what do I do after this? So we created the Post 90 program, Beyond 90. It's going so well, and it has been so cool to watch our members go through their first alcohol-free holiday season in a very long time. Some of them for the first time since they were 16, 17. Even if they didn't have a quote problem, they, bought into the whole thing that we use alcohol when we celebrate. And I know that's the case for a lot of us, right? We're just conditioned. But since they kind of took off the glasses and can see alcohol for what it is and how it was really just dimming them down, the changes have been phenomenal. And of course, well, I know this. You guys might not know this yet, but of course, they have really enjoyed an alcohol-free holiday season. So I posed some questions to them, and the responses were absolutely incredible. I'm going to pose those questions to you. So I'd like you to take a moment and just become present with yourself. Now, that's not always easy when we are in the cycle of drinking, and I get that. So go easy on yourself. This isn't a judgment. This is just a little exercise. But take a moment and close your eyes. Take some deep breaths. Don't close your eyes if you're driving. Stick with the deep breaths, but take a couple of deep breaths in. And a technique I use to become present for myself and with our members is to think of 3 or 4 things that you can smell right now. 3 or 4 things that you can see, that you can touch, that you can taste, and that you can hear. And I'd like you to ask yourself the following questions. I'll take a moment between each one so you can reflect. What is missing from your life? Where is your life headed? Do you like that path? Or do you want to change it? What, if any, lies do you tell yourself? What are your goals for your professional life? What are your goals for your personal life? When I did this exercise with our Beyond 90 members, I followed up with another exercise because some of them have been alcohol free for just over 90 days. Some are coming up on 9 months alcohol free. And with that amount of time and clarity, it's easy to kind of forget what it's like when we're drinking. And I mean that in a good way. You know, we don't, here at Project 90, we don't hang out in the past because it doesn't really serve us unless we can learn from it. So we don't completely wipe out what we said or did or didn't say or didn't do when we were drinking, because we do want to remember where alcohol took us. But we don't do it in a shameful way. It's just to remind ourselves that, I have learned a lot since then. So when I did that exercise with the members, it was so cool to hear their answers. And then I said, okay, we're just going to go back in the past for a few minutes. I'd like you to go back to last year, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's of 2020. Can you put yourself back there? And they raised their eyebrows like, oh man. And I said, don't worry, we're not going to stay there. We're just taking a glimpse. But I said, if I had asked you those questions 1 year ago, how would you have answered? I'd like to ask you the same. If I had asked you these questions last holiday season, 1 year ago, would your answers have been the same as they are now? I'll read the questions again. What is missing from your life in December of 2020? Where is your life headed in December of 2020? Do you like that path or do you want to change it? What, if any, lies do you tell yourself in December of 2020? What are your goals for your personal life in December of 2020? And what are your goals for your professional life in December of 2020? I can tell you that the answers given by our Beyond 90 members in 2021 versus 2020 were profoundly different. In December 2021, their answers kind of looked like this. What is missing from your life? Not a whole lot. Maybe some fitness goals. Maybe getting to take that indulgent vacation with my family. Getting to the stack of books I have to read. Learning to cook a new type of food. Volunteering with charity more. Really good stuff. Last question. Where is your life headed? Do you like that path or do you want to change it? Across the board, the answers were things like, I really like where my life is headed. Do I like the path I'm on? I do. There's been a lot of changes And I can see how they are all turning out for the best. Do I want to change that path? In some ways, yeah. I feel like I could up my game in some areas. I feel like I could, deepen my relationship, expand careers, maybe deepen my faith, uh, up my fitness game for sure, clean up my eating habits because I still really like chocolate. By the way, I still like chocolate, dark chocolate, not ending that relationship because I think it's healthy. Things like that. But overall, yeah, I like where my life is headed. I don't really want to change it, just fine tune it. Okay, cool. The next question: what, if any, lies do you tell yourself? Everyone said the same thing. I don't lie to myself. Then they followed it up with, and I don't lie to the people in my life. Wow. They said things like, I now live an authentic life. I'm attuned to my values. I now have personal boundaries with myself and with others. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And people can count on that. And I, most importantly, can count on that. What are your goals for your personal life? Kind of like what I mentioned before. They said things like, I'd like to create some more meaningful friendships. I'd like to strengthen my relationship with my spouse or partner. I'd like to find a spouse or partner. I'd like to continue modeling for my children what it's like to be resilient and to come through a tough thing like alcohol misuse. What are your goals for your professional life? Every single person, without fail, is happier with their professional life now. They might say things like, well, I am going to go for that promotion, or I'm going to create new business for my business, or I may open another division of my business. I might sell my business and start something brand new. I would like to work fewer hours without sacrificing productivity. If you caught the episode, it was a while ago with one of our members. His name is Ian. He's from Ireland. He was just featured in his local newspaper. It was the coolest thing. One of Ian's goals when he came into Beyond 90 was to reduce his number of weekly work hours, but increase productivity. Well, he was in his local paper because he has taken up the habit of going to matinee movies. He gets up early, he exercises, he takes his daughters to school, he takes himself to a cafe for a nice latte, and once in a while, he will sneak into the local movie theater. And so he was featured in this news story giving his review of the latest Bond movie. And they mentioned, here's this married father of two with a successful career at the movies in the morning. I thought it was so brilliant. And he also just announced to the group last week that he got a huge promotion and pay raise. And do you know one of the reasons they cited for giving him this promotion and pay raise? His productivity. Yes. So he's now working less than 30 hours a week. He was a self-professed workaholic, and he's making more money and having a latte after dropping off his darling daughters at school and then finishing off his morning with some popcorn during a movie. Like, wow, that's amazing. He sure wasn't doing that a year ago. I can tell you that much. In fact, he may mention it in his podcast interview, but Ian's first Friday with Project 90 was the very first Friday on which the pubs reopened in Ireland after quarantine. Whoa. So Ireland pubs open after months of being closed. That's not triggering. And Ian literally ran back home. He was walking home from work and had to go right down Pub Row, and he could not get to our Zoom meeting fast enough. I mean, he came in, he was sweating. He was out of breath. He said, I couldn't get on this call fast enough because he didn't know what life without alcohol was going to look like, but he knew what it was going to look like if he went into the pub that Friday to celebrate with all of his, countrymen. So he got through the call, and I said to him, Ian, why don't you take that same walk tomorrow in the morning? Because most people will be sleeping it off. Take a walk and see if you are sorry that you didn't drink last night. So he did. And he said that, it was just a mess. There were beer bottles everywhere, and you could just see it had been just a reckless night in Ireland. And there he was with a coffee, walking along, enjoying the sunshine, completely hangover free and full of gratitude. Doesn't get much better than that, right? And like I coach our clients, when you get through those like, whoa, I got to run myself home so that I don't give in. When you get through those things, it's like building a muscle. It's like a hard gym workout, and it gets easier and easier. And so now being alcohol free is just kind of that's just who Ian is. And he's happy as a clam. So I then, like I said, I had them go back to 2020 and imagine those questions. What is missing from your life? They had so many things. I wonder if there's some of the same things you may have on your list. What is missing from your life? They said things like inner peace, harmony in my home, motivation, fitness, healthy habits, positive, empowering self-talk. Where is your life headed? Do you like that path, or do you want to change it? Most of them said, I don't know where my life is headed, but I don't see it getting better. I don't like that path. I don't like the path my life is on. What, if any, lies do you tell yourself? Oh, they had a lot for this one. And the biggest one was that I can stop drinking on my own, that I'm going to take care of this alcohol thing come January 1st. I'm going to finally put it behind me. I'm going to make up for all the damage I've done in my relationships, with my children, in my professional life. What are your goals for your personal life? A lot of them said things like that I can stay married, that I can convince my spouse to stick with me, even though I'm lying to myself and them about the drinking thing. Other than that, goals for personal life, really not that many. They didn't really have that many. What are your goals for your professional life? Again, sometimes their goals were tied up in money. They'd say, well, I'm going to make X number of dollars this year. And then I would ask them, I'd say, now, why was that so important to you? And you know what they said? They said, because it gives me validation. And it helps me remind the people around me of how good they've got it. Talk about being vulnerable in your answer. But does that resonate with you? Do you justify your behavior for what you do, or even more importantly, what you don't do, what you fail to do, because you provide, quote, a great life for those around you? So yeah, professional life mostly tied up in making more money. Now, when they look back on what's happened in a year, was it that they found the best personal trainer? Was it that they got that promotion, and so they're making enough money that everyone is off their back about their drinking? What was it? What changed? Well, alcohol changed. They finally took that first big step, and they stopped lying to themselves. And once you stop lying to yourself, guess what? You can stop lying to everyone around you. I loved what someone said. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. What would that feel like? To be able to speak your truth and to have the knowledge that other people around you, believe what you say, believe you will follow up when you say you'll do something, or that you won't do something when you say you won't. Another benefit that so many, well, all of our members get is better sleep. And, we talk about that. Well, what happens in the body when we give up alcohol? And how in the beginning, yes, it can be a little uncomfortable as we kind of train our bodies and brains to not count on this stuff to make us, quote, fall asleep or pass out, whatever it is, because ultimately it decreases the quality of our sleep. And so we feel pretty bad the next day, not to mention the hangover. But they say, I really get good sleep. And I say, yeah, you do. And they're like, is that because the alcohol's out of my system? I said, oh, for sure. Your body is back in its natural rhythm. But the biggest reason that you sleep better at night? Because you're living a truthful life. There's so much less clutter in your head, so much less clutter, because you're not in the doghouse. You're not beating yourself up. How about that 3 a.m. anxiety and negative self-talk? You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know what it is about 3 a.m., but all of us drinkers tend to wake up around that time and have that just boxing match for one, right? I used to call myself my own personal Mike Tyson because I could beat the hell out of myself. Does that sound familiar? When that part is gone, you can bet you're going to sleep better. And of course, not pouring an addictive inflammatory toxin into your body helps. You replace that with some nice tea or a club soda. Yep, you're going to sleep better. You can't measure peace of mind. When was the last time you had that? Was it last year at this time? Or were you right where our members were last year at this time? And from your answers of 2020 to 2021, has anything changed for the better? If it has, that's awesome. But are you still telling yourself the same stuff? Are you still telling yourself, your loved ones, the same stuff? That, yep, you're going to get to this drinking thing. Yep, this is it for sure. 2022 is my year. Everything's going to look different. But is it? Because if you had the magic formula, it would look different already. You would not stay stuck on this miserable merry-go-round. It's like the Disney World ride from hell. You never get off. If you could have gotten off, you would have gotten off. And you haven't. And why is that? Well, that's what we coach around. It's not you. It's the alcohol. It's not a matter of willpower. It's not a matter of how much you love your family or appreciate your career. It's none of those things. I know you don't take those things for granted. It's the alcohol. It changes things. And when you have that understanding, you can also embrace the fact that you're not meant to do this alone. If you could do it alone, you would have done it. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast today. And so this is a big call to action right now. If you want New Year's Eve of 2022, I'm talking a year from now, if you want life to look a whole lot better, there is one thing that will just about certainly guarantee that. And it's not money, and it's not status, and it's not stuff. It's breaking the vicious cycle of the drinking. Why do we choose 90 days? Well, Project 90 is 90 days because according to science, that is a great time to get rid of the alcohol, to give your body a chance to return to its natural state of homeostasis. It's a great place to start a new habit. So, as I've said before, After 90 days with us, the alcohol stores are still going to be open. You can always go back to it. You can. And we don't judge. We suggest, but we don't judge. If you want to go back to it. Really. But why not give yourself a chance to experience it? Have you done it on your own? If not, when are you going to do that? If you haven't done it, it's because it's not working. I know all of our listeners are intelligent people. So be smart. Make a positive change. Now, kick off 2022 with an investment that has the biggest return of anything I can think of. And I've asked our members that. What other investment could you make that would have this kind of return? They all say the same thing. Nothing. Because if you buy some magical stock and you have an incredible return, or a piece of real estate, awesome. You'll make more money. If you take a new supplement that helps your, cholesterol, super. Is any of that going to give you the sort of peace of mind that helps you sleep like a baby at night? Being alcohol-free probably will. So give it a shot. As I said earlier, book that call with me. The link is in the podcast notes. The call is free. It's 15 minutes with me. I think you can tell by these episodes, not very scary, not too intimidating. I'm just a friendly voice on the other side of the Zoom call. And let's see what we can do. If it's not us, maybe it'll be someone else that can help you. But I don't know. I think we've got a pretty magical formula here over at Alcohol Free Lifestyle. It's been definitely one of the greatest joys of my life to have teamed up with James and Sarah and to be able to support you all through this. It is so worth it for our members, for me, for James, for Sarah. It's a great way to start the new year. And I really, really would like to start it with you all. So book that call. Until next time, Happy New Year. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I want to load you up with some free stuff. If you look in the show description, there's a link there to get my guide, which is the Alcohol Freedom Formula Guide. And in that guide, I will walk you through the process and system for successfully reducing or quitting alcohol. It's the same system and process that I give to my clients inside of Project 90. And if you would like to get your hands on that guide, you can click the link in the description part of this episode, or you can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. Likewise, if you would like to be considered for Project 90 to join our community and get some accountability, some coaching, and have fun, achieve some goals over at least 90 days with our help and support, then you're invited to schedule a complimentary coaching call with one of my coaches. You can do that by clicking the link in the show description or going to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule. Now, Project 90 is for over 30s only. And it's really for people who are ready to get long-term power over alcohol. You don't have to quit forever, but you will have to quit for at least 90 days with our support. Just a reminder, 95% of my content is free and plastered all over the internet. If you just Google James Swanwick and the word alcohol, you'll find that. For those of you who want additional support, if you want coaching, fun, accountability, if you realize that you can't do this on your own or you just plain don't want to, then I invite you to schedule that call and we can talk about if Project 90 is for you. If you would like to take some of my supplements, swanvitality.com is the website. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. I have a liver support product called Loving Liver, which I designed and specially formulated to help remove toxins from your liver after years of alcohol consumption. Again, there's a link in the show description. We've also got a green powder there, which turns into a green juice filled with amazing ingredients to support you and give you energy throughout the day. And there's also a magnesium product, which I take every night to help me prepare for sleep and to sleep through the night. So there's a few options there. Lastly, if this episode or the show in general has helped you or supported you in any way, I would so appreciate it if you would write a review. It really does help the show climb the rankings and expose the show to people who don't yet know about us. So if this show has benefited you in any way and you feel compelled to pay it forward, just writing a short little review, hopefully a nice one, will be so appreciated, and I will thank you immensely. Lastly, if you'd like to talk to me about anything at all, feel free to send me an email at james@alcoholfreelifestyle.com. I do read and respond to every email. And you can also follow me on Instagram at James Swanwick. Send me a message there. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Catch you on the next one.